Undefeated as a heavyweight and the former cruiserweight champion of the world, David the Haymaker.
I want to be the guy to hold up my belt as the world
Time to hang up the gloves and retire as a professional boxer.
Over the next 12 months, the Haymaker will once again prepare to take on Goliath. Only this time in Europe's biggest and most brutal poker tournament.
I'm going to spend the next year learning to play poker so I can take on Goliath in 2019.
He'll learn from the best players, mathematicians, scientists and psychologists to give him the best possible chance to slay Goliath.
Undefeated as a heavyweight and the former cruiserweight champion of the world, David the Haymaker.
I want to be the guy to hold up my belt as the world
Time to hang up the gloves and retire as a professional boxer.
Over the next 12 months, the Haymaker will once again prepare to take on Goliath. Only this time in Europe's biggest and most brutal poker tournament.
I'm going to spend the next year learning to play poker so I can take on Goliath in 2019.
He'll learn from the best players, mathematicians, scientists and psychologists to give him the best possible chance to slay Goliath.
Undefeated as a heavyweight and the former cruiserweight champion of the world, David the Haymaker.
I want to be the guy to hold up my belt as the world
Time to hang up the gloves and retire as a professional boxer.
Over the next 12 months, the Haymaker will once again prepare to take on Goliath. Only this time in Europe's biggest and most brutal poker tournament.
I'm going to spend the next year learning to play poker so I can take on Goliath in 2019.
He'll learn from the best players, mathematicians, scientists and psychologists to give him the best possible chance to slay Goliath.
Undefeated as a heavyweight and the former cruiserweight champion of the world, David the Haymaker.
I want to be the guy to hold up my belt as the world
Time to hang up the gloves and retire as a professional boxer.
Over the next 12 months, the Haymaker will once again prepare to take on Goliath. Only this time in Europe's biggest and most brutal poker tournament.
I'm going to spend the next year learning to play poker so I can take on Goliath in 2019.
He'll learn from the best players, mathematicians, scientists and psychologists to give him the best possible chance to slay Goliath.
undefeated as a heavyweight and the former cruiserweight champion of the world, David the Haymaker.
I want to be the guy to hold up my belt as the world
Hang up the gloves on the fire as a professional boxer.
I want to stop dealing it.
Over the next 12 months, the Haymaker will once again prepare to take on Goliath. Only this time in Europe's biggest and most brutal poker tournament.
I'm going to spend the next year learning to play poker so I can take on Goliath in 2019.
He'll learn from the best players, mathematicians, scientists and psychologists to give him the best possible chance to slay Goliath.
Undefeated as a heavyweight and the former cruiserweight champion of the world, David the Haymaker.
I want to be the guy to hold up my belt as the world
Time to hang up the gloves on the fire as a professional boxer.
Over the next 12 months, the Haymaker will once again prepare to take on Goliath. Only this time in Europe's biggest and most brutal poker tournament.
I'm going to spend the next year learning to play poker so I can take on Goliath in 2019.
He'll learn from the best players, mathematicians, scientists and psychologists to give him the best possible chance to slay Goliath.
Undefeated as a heavyweight and the former cruiserweight champion of the world, David the Haymaker.
Time to hang up the gloves on the fire as a professional boxer.
Over the next 12 months, the Haymaker will once again prepare to take on Goliath. Only this time in Europe's biggest and most brutal poker tournament.
I'm going to spend the next year learning to play poker so I can take on Goliath in 2019.
He'll learn from the best players, mathematicians, scientists and psychologists to give him the best possible chance to slay Goliath.
Undefeated as a heavyweight and the former cruiserweight champion of the world, David the Haymaker.
Hang up the gloves on the fire as a professional boxer.
Over the next 12 months, the Haymaker will once again prepare to take on Goliath. Only this time in Europe's biggest and most brutal poker tournament.
I'm going to spend the next year learning to play poker so I can take on Goliath in 2019.
He'll learn from the best players, mathematicians, scientists and psychologists to give him the best possible chance to slay Goliath.
If you were on table 5, you were going to be entertaining the world for at least 2 hours because you're on that.
Undefeated as a heavyweight and the former cruiserweight champion of the world, David, the Haymaker.
Straight out of finger tables.
Hang up the gloves on the fire as a box system.
Over the next 12 months, the Haymaker will once again prepare to take on Goliath. Only this time in Europe's biggest and most brutal poker tournament.
I'm going to spend the next year learning to play poker so I can take on Goliath in 2019.
He'll learn from the best players, mathematicians, scientists and psychologists to give him the best possible chance to slay Goliath.
Undefeated as a heavyweight and the former cruiserweight champion of the world, David, the Haymaker.
Table 5. You're on the feature. Bring him up.
Hang up the gloves on the fire as a box system.
Middle of the roof, table 81 and above is in hole 5 where they had that tournament called joke as well. Table 70 to 80. They're in the top left hand corner, down with the left hand side. 81 and above. In the hole, in hole 5. Everybody coming through. There are screens absolutely everywhere. You don't need to come up the main door. The thousands are starting. I've just walked through the hole and you're still 250 on the open space. Plus that's huge.
I know it plays obviously to table before.
No?
Apparently. Oh,
I
here she
said,
is, the winner.
like I said, they don't want to play. And I messaged Howard yesterday, I haven't got any pull on the table, have you? He's like, I comes in and he says, table right, keep it up. That's just fair. I'm sure he had something to do with it. Shit bag.
It's alright, don't worry. They're only all watching you and judging you.
I know.
The winner of the game is sat down the game on you. Well done, Vicky.
Mate, they know where the entertainment's at. Yeah? They know where the entertainment's at. This is so that people can watch this and realise how this game's meant to be. I'm not happy about borrowing the cameras. I need a hat.
So take your seats as quickly as you can. We will start at bang on 11 in less than 10 minutes time. The gong will sound and we will start the final game of Goliath 2019. We will be starting on time. Table 81 and above is in hole number 5, which is the bottom right hand side. The bottom left is 70 to 80. Table 5 is the table in the centre of the room.
How did you manage to go on through the table?
It's a setup. Is it you, Janice? Someone set me up here.
If you give me a card with your name, I'm gonna be George. I'm gonna need a card.
Oh, we were on cash last night.
Yeah?
We were on cash last night.
We are less than 10 minutes away from the final of game 1 of Goliath.
Although I have the number 6
Good morning,
and this is open because the future table is 9. So I think you have to have a look again.
Table 8 and above are in hole 5.
Because your name is not in the list.
Which is the bottom right. 70 to 80 is in the alcove on the left hand side.
That'd be backwards, you need to try that.
Yeah. Okay. I have got to be your name. I can't give your name.
So the rubber start outside, banging in on the clock. You can see your name on the screen. Find the seat that you're in. That. Okay. Okay. Thanks for that. Don't get a text and won't tell you. Stream names are back on TV. You understand on time? There are plenty of screens all the way down the room. You don't have to look at the first one you see. There's a bit of a queue on the door. Over 800 runners have made day 2 already.
Can we use this camera? This is the first time.
Yeah, back of me. Back of me. They'll notice me from my hair anyhow, but to the back of me. And make sure this is blocked out. Like, you know, being set out. It's like the only thing I don't want this feature to do. This is one of the set out. It's not counter page. See, it's not there.
Always a dealer's fault.
When you fail, it's a dealer's fault. When you win, it's a pride. Yeah.
No, it's still the dealer's amazing now when you win. The dealer's amazing now when you win.
Oh, I'm gonna give it.
The dealer's an idiot when you lose, so then you're amazing.
I need a hat.
I need to
Just about to start day 1
Last night I was playing Crash and I was using my little jester hat from the Double Summit. I started winning. I was going to wear it here today and I thought I'd feel like a dick. I'm glad it didn't feel on feature table.
Oh, why you didn't do the hat?
You're not
It's in my
using that
car.
one. That's forward facing, yeah?
Yeah, sure. I could easily wear the hat and deal.
Only forward facing.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
I'd like a card with your name. Oh, if you want.
81 to 100 are in the more than 5. 70 to 80 top left. 105 in the middle.
Just be like the rest of the baby. Not be like. Just like.
Don't leave my pint.
Aces, where's the queens? I hit the ace queen on the block. Take him out.
We come all the way here.
We're just being for
We
breakfast.
share the same table.
It's alright if I have a little sleep. It's alright if I have a little sleep.
Yannis, I'm going to hand over to Yannis in 1 minute's time. If you've got your name on the screen, down at the table,
Can be
7, 6, 8, 6 in the outdoor on the left hand side. Table 5.
but then you have to give me the pin as well.
Listen to Yannis. Don't break any rules. No vaping in the hall as well, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot vape in this hall.
Last place I wanted to be.
That's
Do
what I
not
said, didn't I?
vape.
All morning,
You
eating
need to use it
breakfast.
as a cigarette
Who fixed
and
this
disappear
then?
outside like everyone else.
Cash all night.
No vaping at all now.
Keeping in my car.
Thank you. Yannis, let's do it.
And I better let everybody know I'm on
So the home.
Make that camera stay
Welcome
right
everyone
my
to
face.
flight 1G. This is the last day you can play for the Goliath to qualify for day 2. Dealerman has been going to seat 8. Dealers, please place the deal button in seat 8. We are playing today 16 levels. All the levels are 40 minutes long. There will be a 25-minute break end of every third level. You will have a dinner break end of level 9, which will be for 75 minutes long. So 75-minute break for the dinner end of level 9. Please follow the action. If you walk away from the table out of turn, you will receive a 2-hand penalty as soon as you return to your seat. So players, please follow the action or you will get a penalty. Dealers, please prepare the decks. The opening lines are 100.
Just about to start.
100, 100. Wish you the best of success. Dealers, if you have 3 or more players on the table, please begin to deal.
Now that's the way to start day 1G. Well done, one and all. What a week. It's 1G. I came through the hall at 10:30 and there was 350 on the alternates list and there was a queue all the way around the room completely in a snake-like style all the way down to where we did the flip and goes for the last 7 days. It is so busy. You just can't say how this has grown in the years that we started the Goliath. These guys have worked, well, everybody from top to bottom have worked their absolute socks off to make this a huge success. And over 800 runners have made day 2 so far. We're just about to hand over to Jay because we're just about to go for a coffee because the coffee, I tell you what, the throat's just about gone. But the final buying day, and if you're on the alternates list, you definitely will get a game here at day 1G. Jay, take it away.
Thanks, Tower. Good morning, everyone. We are back for the final day 1G. We are expecting a huge day today. It's already booming in the casino. There's queues going around the casino to get into the tournament. Plenty happening today. Yesterday, we had 1,569 runners. 209 bagged up for day 2. Once again, another increase on last year. Hopefully at some point today we will have the final number of entries. Morning, Tower.
Morning, Jay. Morning. Thanks for last night.
No problem.
I've heard this guy called Patrick wants my job. What's the chances?
Well,
have I got to be a bit worried?
Yeah, I think you should tell. He seemed to enjoy it. He had a smile on his face the whole time. He seemed like he was actually having a really good time reading all the questions in the chat box, and it was a real treat for everyone. Treat for me, treat for you all watching. Something that I weren't expecting. I'm sure you guys weren't expecting, and everyone that was tuned in really thoroughly enjoyed it. So
excellent.
Went really well. Morning Mel, morning HW Poker, morning Jodie, morning Mum.
Morning Jodie, morning everybody in the chat boxes. Day 1G. I don't know if you can tell that the throats just about give way. But we had a bit of a sing-song last night. I don't know if you heard it.
I've got to give a shout out to Neil. That was weird. That was really weird. Twin Luck Neil in the chat. That was really weird.
Just about talking about him in there. He is. Good morning.
Thanks for the treats this morning. Land the Rich tea biscuits. I'll be having a nice couple with them later on. Good luck today as well, Neil. I know you're in the field, so hopefully you run good and can bag up at the end of the day.
Awesome. Morning, Alan.
Morning, Alan.
Morning, Tower. You were great last night. I was that guy that sat there at 3 a.m.
He wouldn't budge.
Yeah. He wouldn't budge, and he got himself an online a re-entry. Alternate number one. What alternate number were you, Alan? I'm guessing at 3 a.m. you must have been number 1.
Good morning, Jim. We got your lad in the field today, Jim. Mr. Eddie One Push is playing again.
Yeah, it was Alan Budge, alternate number 1.
Wow.
Which means he's going to be sat down in about 20 minutes.
No, I'll tell him that Carol Bellis is like number 20. He's sitting down now.
Excellent.
Mel says it's night time here. I'm guessing she's watching from somewhere over in the probably Australia.
Other side of the world. Yeah, Mel's from Tasmania.
Oh, is that Tasmania?
Morning, Tasmania. Good evening, Tasmania.
Tasmania.
Good evening.
Paul says, good work this week, boys. Great to listen to you both. Thank you, Paul.
Loved it. Always do. He's alternate number 1 and a free breakfast. Awesome. And he's on his way down. Alternates will be called in the first level. They always are. If there's any spare dealers, the tables will be opened. All hands are on deck. But we are full to capacity yet again, as always, on the Friday of Goliath. So, looking forward to a cracking day, a busy day. All information is key. We'll keep the information rolling because it is very important.
I'm actually expecting a day of like people not going too crazy at the tables, people not trying to get their chips in.
We always say that Friday's normally played like a freeze out because you know you're going to be alternate number 600.
Yeah, exactly.
When you bust out.
There you go, and I agree completely. So be interesting to see how everyone approaches the first few levels. But no one's going to want to bust early and then wait around 5-6 hours to get back in.
Jim Marlowe says he was in the main event last night and couldn't hear the dealer on my table for all the singing in the Joker's Wild. It sounded nuts. It was fantastic. We've done it a couple of times before. Done it for CT Law. It all started about 5 years ago up in Teesside. CT Law passed away, fantastic poker player, came second in the World Series a few years ago, and he passed away and they wanted to celebrate his life, so I got asked if I wanted to come up and do a few songs and compare and have a laugh and try and celebrate it rather than doing the normal kind of remembrance game. Anyway, it just took off from there and we've done it for like 5 years in Teesside. The Cav Cup in the Northwest for Derek Kavanagh last year in Blackpool. sold out 250 seats, and they wanted to do exactly the same. And Ian Bryan was there. He turned up, and he couldn't believe how much fun people were having at the tables, singing and dancing. And I know it's a little bit different when you're celebrating somebody's life, that everybody's there for that reason. And he said, can we try it at Joker's Wild? And we said, yeah. So we tried it, and from then on, everybody's just been like, oh my God, that was amazing. That was amazing. Vicky Sudworth won it. Vicky
won it?
Yeah.
Wow, well done, Vicky.
Yeah, Vicky won it, and she's absolutely buzzing. She's playing today as well. She's playing day 1G. She was up till 4:30 playing the Joker's Wild. She won it, got a few hours kip, and she's now sat playing day 1G. But she came up to me this morning, and she said it's the best day's poker she's ever had.
I spoke to Twin Luck earlier, and he said his friend Vicky won it. I didn't realise it was the Vicky that tunes into the chat all the time. Absolutely. So if you are listening, Vicky, well done on yesterday's result. Great score.
Now she sat down one at tables today. She's playing. If you're watching the live stream, Vicky, well done.
Mel says on Twitch, I'll be up all night to watch this.
Stuart Harvey says he's Patrick Antonius on the alternate list. No, he's in London. There's a little comp going on in London.
Yeah, £1 million buy-in, so
yeah,
he's down there.
No, he's not playing, he's playing the 50k.
Oh, he's playing the 50k.
Nice one, Alan. Alan Budge. Joker's Wild was great. He comes second. That's why you were in the queue. Good man. Came second. They split 2k with 6 players. Fantastic. That's what you should. It was a £50 comp. These chops this week, everybody says we shouldn't chop anything. Well, when it's £2,000 for a £50 buy-in, chop 6 ways. Thank you for coming. That's what I say. Spread the love. And then everybody went to bed.
Yeah, so Vadotas here with the Queen's going to come in for a continue. Sharon's just going to have to get out of the way with the King 10.
Alan Dinkash, his mate came second. Fair enough. But no, chops at 4:30 in the morning for 2k each in a £50 game. Absolutely perfect. Can't be taking away £2,000 with a decent chop. 4:30. 381 runners it had.
I know. I couldn't believe the turnout for that. It's just incredible.
381. Just brilliant. And I know it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, unfortunately. A lot of people were, the music. But it was fantastic. Might be doing it again. That's how Alan got his free breakfast. Alan's rate came second, that's why he got a free breakfast.
Badge.
Morning, Nate. Nate Poulton in the GUKPT chat box. Morning, Tara. Morning, Jay. Hope you both had a good sleep. And Jay, have you calmed down yet?
Yeah, so I'm still buzzing from it, mate. I'm not going to lie, the buzz is still here, and it will be here for a while. So I'm still got that adrenaline and buzz going through.
Jay, Patrick Antonius is coming to join you in the commentary box. Is that all right?
Morning, Sean. Alan says music was great. You did Freddie great. Queen was great.
It was a good ending. It was a good ending.
ZR Grizz, what was the story with Patrick Antonius again? He turned up here in Coventry yesterday. No one was expecting him to turn up. He was just here, and then lucky for us, we had him in the commentary booth for about 50 minutes. the 4th session of the day yesterday, and he was great to talk to. We just basically had a conversation. We didn't really go through many hands, but it was just a great chat between me and Patrick.
You don't need to when you've got Patrick Antonius sat at the side of you. It came for a bit. I think he came for a little bit of a business meeting. Great to see Johnny Robb as well. Jonathan Robb was with Patrick. Jonathan Robb, a lot of people won't know the name, but Jonathan Robb basically in 2007 set up the GUKPT, which is really one of the reasons why we're sat here.
Yep.
Such a great fella. He obviously moved on to different businesses in about 2013 maybe. Very good to see Johnny Robb. Saw him in Malta last year at the Battle of Malta, but good to see him. We just never seem to get a chance to speak to him for like you'd like to sit down and have a coffee with him. But,
Ben J. Buzz, I got eliminated day 1B at level 11, but have still spent the week checking out the rest of the tournament, enjoying my day, well-run tourney and fun to play in. Torres says Patrick was not invited to the 1 mil event, invite only. Yeah, he is down there though, playing the 50k today. He's playing the 50k at the Triton Series. Grizz just meant that was the story of him turning up to Goliath. That's so sick, what a guy. And Keith says, morning gents, do we know how many are on the alternate list for thus far today? Got PK's on the case. He'll,
what, how many alternates?
How many alternates?
Well, at the start of play there was 350. So
yes, yeah, I think it's.
We will try and find out the exact number, but it was 350 when we started play.
And the other thing to take into account as well, there's still a queue, there's still a huge queue, so whatever the alternate list number is, then you've also got to add on the people in the queue as well, because obviously they'll have their ticket before you, assuming you haven't started queuing yet. Oh yeah, thanks Neil. Don't forget the online flips today.
Towers in.
Towers getting into the online flips. 12, 1, 2 and 3.
Oh, I had a spin of the wheel. I got rivered.
You got rivered?
Yeah. It bounced. It's one short.
Ah.
One short. Got rivered.
Alternate up to number 10, please make your looking alternate set. Alternate up to number 10.
Is that right? There's two people haven't shown up yet.
Catherine B on GKPG says, my dad Fred Buckle is there playing somewhere. Good luck, she needs a new car.
Needs a new car. Well, if he does happen to make day 2 and then potentially day 3, you never know.
If he makes day 3, Catherine, make sure you come down to watch it, or come up to watch it, or come to Coventry to watch it, because
playing for over 100 grand.
You can put your list in. Start writing your list on day 3.
Have you seen my car? It's fucking tiny. It's not going to fit in it.
Was going down. John Perkins says we're going to travel down at 3 AM this morning to join the queue after another bullet. We fell asleep on the couch. Going to play locally tonight. That'll be like going from from gold to a tin can. Oh, John. Well, make sure if you go to your local casino and you want to watch the live stream, tell them to stick it on one of the monitors. And tell them to stick the live stream on just to keep you updated. A lot of clubs do that around the country.
Morning Sam. Sam says last night was an iconic night for the Goliath. Both of you played a brilliant part, lads. Well done.
Thanks Sam.
Yeah, thanks Sam. Honestly, if you ask me to do that every day, I'll do it every day.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, cheers mate.
Well, no, like, it was just starstruck. Absolutely starstruck yesterday. It was something I never dreamed of happening.
Brilliant. I didn't see. I don't know if Sam was actually in the building, but I'm guessing not. Well, must have seen the pictures. It was a different day, I suppose.
yeah.
Shall we say?
Yeah. I watched that interview last night of you dressed as a Joker interviewing Antonius as well, and like I'm thinking, what must be going through
How
his head?
did he even agree to do it?
I know, and you're dressed like that. Do you know what, Tower? Honestly, sitting next to him for 50 minutes, like he was the nicest guy, like the nicest guy. He came across really well. He's just always smiling, always happy to answer questions, and it was great. It was great, and
brilliant.
I honestly can't give the guy more props than I already have.
Morning everybody who's watching on YouTube, morning on Twitch. Good morning everybody. Ziggy. Have you done that?
ZR Grizz, is there any way to re-watch yesterday's stream? Tried to watch it on YouTube but said it was copyright. I wonder why that would be.
That might be me.
That might be the old DJ in the background. I think what's going to happen, we're actually going to chop the 50 minutes out that Patrick was in the booth, and then we're going to post that to social media, I think, a bit later in the week. So
Sweet.
Hopefully you will be able to watch it back. I know I've had that question from many people who've missed Patrick being in the booth, but we are definitely going to chop that out, and it will be up at some point on social media, so just look out for it. It's around 50 minutes. Morning Steve on Twitch.
Morning Steve. Morning Jodie. Jodie's in the flip free roll, and she says she loves watching and listening to you two. It's been a great all week, and I book this week off every year. It's fantastic. Nate Polton. How are the scales looking this morning, Tower? Bet you lost a few good stone in sweat with that. Oh man.
You don't recognise him this morning.
You don't realise how much a rubber mask makes your head sweat. Jeez. No, it was good. It was good. Hey, the Logie Bear on YouTube. Good morning. All details on gkpt.com regarding the blog. Social media wise, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. All done by the guys to my left, PK and Dave. Well, PK. It's fantastic.
That interview with Antonius is amazing, says Jim. Thanks, Jim. It was honestly just as amazing for me as it was for you lot to watch. So, unaware Tyrone's holding here. I think we've just got to be checking here as Ace King, try and take our showdown. We beat 9-7, we beat 10-9, Queen 10, Queen 9. But Darren does come in for a bet. I'm assuming we're up against one of those hands that we mentioned.
Morning, Christy.
Morning,
Christy
Christy.
Fletcher, who played yesterday. Sis got through. Paula got through. Christy, unfortunately, didn't.
Is she playing again today?
I'm not sure if Christy's playing again.
If you are, Christy, good luck for today. Hopefully,
maybe back home now, Christy. Yeah, we're all right. Throat's just about to give way, but plenty of coffee and plenty of water. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, Sam says, Phil, you available for weddings? Ha ha. Was not in the building, but had an array of mates in the Jokers. Unfortunately, got the flu, so I'm done for the year at the Rico. We'll be railing from the chat box from now on.
Nice one. Nice one, Sam. Wow. Christy Fletcher said the chip leader from yesterday was down to 20,000 at one point.
I've got a big free bet coming in here from Sharon. Want to be going a smaller size here. When we start going more than 5x, we're just not going to get action from hands that we want to get action. Just fine to come in for 2.5x, 3x. There, our free bet size. Want to try and get calls from our opponent with kings. Don't want to just fold out hands that can peel against the standard sizing. Because once we go that size, has to peel near the top of his range there versus that free bet. So Tyrone in the cut-off.
I didn't realise that was the elderly maniac sat in seat number 5.
Is that Andy Garland.
That's Andy Garland.
Oh yeah. I haven't even run you through the table, guys. We got so sidetracked by what happened yesterday, and we haven't even told you who we got. So in seat 1 is Deborah Kim, seat 2 Luke Collins, seat 3 Sharon Phelps, seat 4 Tyrone Watkins, seat 5 the elderly maniac Andy Garland, seat 6 is Alan Ford, seat 7 Darren Lehman, seat 8 Daniel Clement, and in seat 9 Vedatas Styra. The Tyrone opening cut-off, A6 off, is the worst possible ace that we can be dealt, but once folded to us in the cut-off, it's fine to come in for an open. 8-5-3 rainbow. And Tyrone doesn't choose to continue.
Yeah, since you are not delayed again.
Hello. You know when Patrick was here yesterday, there was a guy called Jonathan. Yeah, he belongs.
Is James Madison and Audley playing today? I believe Audley's playing. I'm not sure about James Madison, but Audley is playing today.
One of your legs.
Oh, chips in them. Of course. Get some of them chips off. That's fine. Oh, but you're passing that way. I put something on Facebook that I actually seen it. We'll go on. Live. 2019. Live. 7:35. I haven't had a hand race. So it's just started. 1800. They call me the commentator. My nickname's Elder Maniac. Yeah, Maniac is a term in poker.
So Darren, has Darren just passed Jacks in the small to an open? Yeah. I know Pete, some people don't like Jacks, but what? Level 1 of the day, there's been an open and Jacks just fold to an open. Have next year's dates been announced, says Stuart. Tower says we'll get Ian in shortly. So I don't know, Stuart, that could be good news, the fact that Tower said Ian's going to be in shortly. He'll probably do 5-10 minutes with the Tower, talking about the event, talking about potentially next year. Okay, thanks Jodie. Literally just had to sort something quickly, came back, looked up, saw the two holdings and just saw Jacks going to the mark. That makes a lot more sense for me. Ace King 5, all hearts. Thanks Jodie for that. Completely missed it. So definitely been no flop here, but we're going 3-way to the flop now. King 4 for Luke, Vedatas with King Jack, and Darren unaware of his holding on the button. It's always good though, because we can start giving him range of hands and whatnot. Any good turns about for the King Jack of Vedatas. Luke's going to lose a street of action here on the river with the King 4. He's going to have to flick in a call once the King Jack comes out for a lead, and we have to lead here now as the King Jack. We've checked twice, and now we just have to lead. Want to try and get some value from some potentially worse King X and maybe some rivered 9s, but we don't really want to go big. Like, it's fine to just go 300-400 here. Like, got to think of what part of our opponent's range we're trying to get call by. And yeah, 500, just over half pot from Velitas. And Luke obviously has to make the call here the way his hands play with King 4. We check back the turn for this exact reason, so we can call a river bet. Yeah, thanks everyone. In the chat boxes about that hand, literally was just sorting stuff out off stream, and then came back, saw the jacks fold, and didn't even see the flop, so I thought it was pre-flop. That makes a lot more sense.
Hey, I know they're ordered. Chill out, they're ordered. I forgot my own coffee. I can't believe I'm going out for a drink, forgot it. Oh!
Mel says, I think there needs to be a raw no phone at the poker tables.
Yeah. No.
Nah. I think it's fine. As long as you're not on your phone in a hand.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's fine. Like I like sitting there with my earphones in and listening to music or audio books. Like that's some people just it's the way.
Yeah. You can't watch the live stream on the live stream table, but you can watch it everywhere else. Everybody's going to be texting away that they're on the main event table. And as long as Jay's just said, as long as they're not slowing down play and they're not in a hand, then so be it. It's just part of life now, isn't it? The phones. People watch the golf, people watch the cricket. How did the cricket go on yesterday? That excellent game they call cricket. How did England do yesterday? Any idea?
No.
The Ashes started yesterday.
I'm sure someone in the chat will know. Good afternoon, Ed on Twitch. I'll tell you what, that is something I really loved about Patrick Antonius as well. When he was sat in here with me in the booth, didn't have his phone, nothing like that, weren't on his phone, didn't check his phone once, just here, talking, taking everything in, like speaking to everyone in the chat box, and you know what, it was really, really good to see from him. He was really like engaging with everyone and interested, and I'm going to keep saying it all week, but what a top guy. Reality, how busy is it today, guys? Busy.
It is, ridiculously busy. 350 alternates at 11 o'clock. Nate Polton's nipping to the staff shop. Yes, please. Yes, please. Wow. Australia all out for 284. There was something like 120 for 8.
Yeah,
what happened?
England started off well, got Australia to 122 for 8, then Steve Smith scored 144 and they finished at 284 all out.
Wowzers.
There you go.
Ed, never write off the Aussies.
Ed, our old cricket reporter in the Twitch chat, as we go to the King Jack 7 all diamond flop. No player with a diamond here.
284. They were 120 for 8. Oh well. I just finished 84th out of 100 players. That wasn't a very good flip. Good luck everybody who's still in it.
Afternoon, Alex in the chat. Okay, Reality, yeah, make sure you do. And obviously I'll bring you in. He just wants to have a little scout out what this amazing comms room looks like.
See if we can watch Jodie. Oh, she's in the final. Jodie's in the final.
Again?
Muppet alert is in the final.
And she's got the best hand.
Oh, they've all got spades.
Yeah, they all got spades.
Please come all spades.
Oh, that's it.
Flop the ace.
No 2. Fade the 2, Jodie.
You only need to fade a 2 and Jodie wins the UCOP ticket.
Again.
Did she win one yesterday?
She's won 2 already, Tower.
2?
And she needs to fade a 2.
Oh, man.
Muppet alert.
I'm going to play in your house. Your IP address is
and that's
golden.
it. Jodie, I think...
Jodie wins.
There may be a small side, actually.
5k.
Oh, 5k.
Munshit dude. I love it.
What number alternate are they calling, please, lads?
40.
40. They're calling number 40.
No.
40.
This is his change. Thank you.
Ah, Jodie's only got one ticket and she's still in it. First, we've had a double up already. You, later.
Ah, thank you. I don't know what I say thank you because
you both.
I got them, but thank you anyway for going on with them.
So Jodie is still heads up for a seat, watching in the chat box.
Yeah.
Come on, Jodie. Big chip lead. Already won them this week.
Yeah.
Golden she is. Golden. Here comes a 9. Ah, what a great week for the flips. Thanks to Grosvenor Poker for giving us all the tickets, all the tokens. We'll get in the free roll later. We'll put a bounty on Jay's head again. He must have learnt something yesterday listening to Patrick. 9 on the river. Well done, Jodie.
9 ball, corner pocket.
9 ball, straight in. Well done, Jodie. Wins another one. Easy.
That's her third one this week.
No, second. She only won one.
Oh, I thought she won 2.
Confirmed.
I thought I'll Muppet alert.
Yes.
Had 1, 2. Well done, Jodie.
Well done, Jodie. Another one at 1 o'clock. Get yourself in. Once you're in, you don't even have to watch it. The ticket will just be there if you win. It's as simple as that. Get yourself in. The next one is at 1 p.m. There's a free roll at 6 o'clock. Thanks to the team for sticking in the free rolls as well. And if you had a spin on the wheel and managed to get yourself a seat, that's more giveaways from the team. They've been awesome this week of the Grosvenor online team. I think there's only one.
Whoa! What is Tyrone up to there? Whoa!
Oh, what happened there?
He's literally mucked his card. They've gone well over the line, basically touched where the board is, and then he's pulled them back to himself.
What do you think?
To be honest with you, with Ace High, he's obviously not calling anyway, but it's a strange one. It's a really strange one. He's gone to muck his hand and then pulled them back in, and they've gone well over they've nearly touched the community cards, and then he's just pulled them back and then instantly mucked again a few seconds after. But I don't think he's going to be calling with Ace High anyway. Not sure what he's up to there with like the old fake muck pump. Ed says, I have a lot of friends playing today. Was going to come along by after work. Where's the sickie, Ed? Call in
a sickie.
Yeah.
I'm very loud. You'll have to turn the volume down.
Hey, Sir McGrath. Afternoon, Jay. Come down off Clyde down yet?
No, I haven't. I'm still on it. Trust me, I am still on that cloud.
Good stuff.
Spark says, I'm 2:30 on the alternates, lads. Kipping in the car park. Mel's
dedication for you.
Yeah, that's it. Mel says we need a camera on you guys. Don't have a camera, unfortunately, Mel. You don't want to see our faces.
You don't want to look at us on day 7.
There's a reason we do commentary and not TV.
You don't want to look at us this morning. I look like a sound.
And Reality said, how are you feeling, Tower, after those amazing dance moves yesterday?
Yeah, it was a superb night. It was one of the best, and so many good people, like walking through the hall, and this morning people coming in saying it's the best night they've ever had playing poker. Vicky, who won it, came up to us just about to sit down for day 1G, and she came up to us. She said, that's the best night of poker I have ever had. And not only the win, obviously the win helps, but she says even if I enter cash, it was the best night she'd ever had. It was a good laugh. I sat in the shower when I got up to the room and just sat there, and all the makeup came off. Scrubbing my face with sandpaper.
So bet on the flop, bet call from Tyrone. He's going to bet again on the turn and gets called by the ace once more. And this river's always going check now. Wow, is he going to come in for a bet here? Like we've got too much showdown to bet here. Like what we're trying to get called by. In this specific scenario, it may actually work. But like we're going to fold out 8s and 9s and bet a 7x. But would much prefer to see a check.
Yeah, I'm sat in the shower last night and I'm just praying that it wasn't like the spray paint on Phoenix Nights where it was when he couldn't get it off. Oh no, it was good. Great night. Oh, I've donated 6 bullets this week and I am 263 on the alternate list. One time, please. Says Trump on the YouTube. What?
It's got to be one of the most ridiculous pictures ever.
What are you laughing at? Send me that. You have to. I'll let you send me that. Alex says, do either of us ever play these tournaments? Jay used to play them. Realised that 10 bullets a week was not the way forward, so he asked for a job. So that was it. So
10 bullets.
Last 2 years, me and Jay. Well, I've worked them all.
Yeah, year and a half. I've been doing it.
Yeah,
year and a half.
2 Goliath for Jay. We managed to play the tag team.
Yep.
Which was a side event. We were jumping in and out of the comms.
Yeah, really fun. That was really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, but the main event is work for the team.
Yeah, work.
Oh.
We get any footage of when he walked out onto the stage?
No, it was good. It was a great week. It is a great week.
Any Jack 10s about? Jack 10 for Sharon, Jack 10 for Tyrone, Jack 10 for Andrew.
Well.
Go on, give the big blind Jack 10 one time. And Queen 4 for Luke. And Luke here somehow got 63% equity with Queen 4 ways.
Oh, that half up. What's that?
Eight, 6 for the flops. The Queen 4 of Luke improves the bottom pair. Still the best hand. It's going to be a case of first aggressor is going to take this pot down.
Have you seen this?
Deuce of diamonds on the turn.
What's that?
Took it back to the beginning. And you said, what's this?
No.
Now Luke coming out for a lead. Like this from Luke. This board's going to be best for our range here in the big blind, especially once the flop checks through. So comes in for a lead for 500. And elderly maniac here, Mr. Andy Garland. It's not actually on him, it's on Tyrone. Who wants to pill here with just Jack 10, no draw. So Tyrone coming along with just Jack high. So I'm assuming he's calling to bluff river if check to. King of diamonds rolls off. So Luke's going to check and Tyrone, he just checks behind. So he's obviously called on the turn there because he believes his Jack high is good, but I'm not sure what hands we're supposed to be ahead of versus the lead from the big blind. It's a bit of a strange call on the turn there. Really thought should just fold turn, but if somehow we happen to call turn, a lot of the time we're going to have to bluff river. Just can't check back Jack high. Should just fold turn, obviously, but if somehow we manage to get to the river after calling turn and we get checked to, I think we've got to come in for a bet.
Kills me in the face. I surprised in my head. It's the face. Look at the beginning.
Yeah, reality and the rest. I reckon. I reckon around 2,000 people today. Really brilliant atmosphere here. I've donated 6 bullets this week and I am 263 in the list one time, please. Good luck when you eventually get in.
your favourite, isn't it? I like to think you know when he walks on.
Morning, guys. What happens if you're on the alternates list and you miss your call because you're sleeping?
You will get a seat when you walk in.
Yeah, basically.
If your number's already been called, you just see one of the floor staff, tell them that your number's been already been called, and in your walk, and they'll tell you where you sat. Morning, Dennis. Hope you're all right, pal. Jamie Whalen, 208k through to day 2.
Well done, Jamie.
That's not bad. Do we think the average will be about 200,000 tomorrow? Average stack?
More than that. I think it'd be about 230, 240.
Yeah.
I think that's probably around what the average stack's going to be for tomorrow. Can't believe we're nearly at day 2 already. I can't believe how quick this event's gone. It's absolutely flown by. And interesting hand here. Both Andrew and Alan with the nut straight, but Alan with the nut redraw, and doesn't get there, so they're going to chop this one up.
No, he's got a jack of clubs.
Yeah, but he's got the king of spades.
Oh, the two of spades. was the two of spades already on the table?
Yeah,
oh, right,
yeah.
Okay, I like you. I like you. Sorry, I'm not Patrick. I'm sorry.
You're going to be using that one all day, aren't you, Tower?
No, I don't think you'll mention it more than 3 times a minute.
Alex says, how many actually make it onto the alternates? When do they cut it off? End of level 6? They don't cut it off, Alex. You, as long as you're on the alternates list, you will get into the tournament.
Yeah.
But after level 6, you do have the opportunity to get your money back and not enter because you may be a shallow stack.
You have to be on the alternates before the end, or basically before the start of level 7. You have to be on the list, and as Jay says, everybody gets a game if they want to play. But when you've queued up for 4 hours, and I know queuing up is never the best advertisement, queuing up, but it's part of the tournament, it's part of what it is. If you've been to Vegas, queuing up for 6 hours to get into the Big 50 this year, their Big 50 in Vegas this year had 9,000 runners on day 1, on one of their day 1s. 9,000 on the last buying day. And people were queuing up for 6 hours to play the game because they wanted to play, and because it was $1 million to the winner for $500 buy-in. Exactly the same as this. It's £100 buy-in plus the reg fee, and it's £100,000 minimum to the winner. So when you've queued up, you're going to play no matter what level it is. But if you're on the alternate list before the start of level 7, you will get a game.
Blazing Daily says, morning guys, I'm Dean Stimpson, made it through to day 2 with my first ever bullet in the Goliath on day 1B, so excited to be part of history and look forward to taking it down on Sunday. Bagged up 271k, so good luck for tomorrow. Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I was just expecting River to go bet call, so we sort of diverted to the chat boxes, but I'm not sure what size he's raising on the River there. It must have been pretty big trying to wrap the flush. Assuming it was the player with the nut flush blocker, the king of spades, that came in for the raise in that pot, but we sort of looked away because we just expected it to be a chop pot and just go bet call. Unless the sizing on the River was really small, then obviously we can come in for a raise, but as I always say, when you bet River in them spots, you should already be knowing what you're doing, and there was a snap fold, so obviously he had the intention of bet folding as he come in for value on the River there. It was already made up if you say it was a snap fold. Yeah, reality says C5 just snap folded straight after a re-raise on the River.
Yeah.
Who folds straight on that board, says MC Nick. The 4-4-6 rainbow, the flop, up and down straight draw here for the elderly maniac in seat 5, and looks like Andy Garland's going to come in for a lead here on the 7 of clubs turn. And that's probably going to be it, unless Tyrone's has some sort of holding, but no. Andy Garland takes that one down.
Oh, you chatbox, you make me laugh.
Jim Marlowe says, how I was doing comms with Antonius J. I guess sitting next to a former male model and world-class poker player, it must have felt like just another day in the office. Yeah, I didn't even know the difference, Jim. It was basically just like a normal day. It was. He is funny.
Did you call him Tower at any point?
No, I didn't. I didn't get a chance to. I was just like looking at him.
Brilliant.
Where you going?
Good afternoon, Haroon.
Just a cold flu.
So Sharon going to come in for an open in the cut-off here. We got Andy in the small, going to let the 7-5 of hearts go, and Alan going to do the same with the Queen 3. So raise and take for Sharon. Any Grosvenor pros through, and stacks. Katie Swift has made it through. She has, I believe, how many Katie got? I think, yeah, I think it's around 230k. I will get some clarification on that. Let's have a look. And I think Katie's the only. Did Joe make it through yesterday in the end? No, Joe didn't make it through, so it's just Katie flying the flag at the moment for Team Grosvenor. And obviously David Hay as well, he bagged up 99k on day 1E. 16.5 big blinds he'll be coming back with. So Vedatas, King 10 under the gun, makes it 300 to go. Early stages of the tournament, if we are comfortable playing post flop and do think we have an edge at the table, it's fine to open this hand. We're very deep. Later stages, when stacks start to shallow, a lot of the time it's just going to go into the muck under the gun, full ring. But we do get the King high flop, King 3 deuce rainbow. So expect Vedatas to come in for a continue here, but not going to be getting action from either player. Both Sharon and Alan are going to have to let their hands go. Afternoon, Tom. Says, who's the pro in seat? I'm guessing you missed a number there, Tom, but sponsored by. If you're talking about Sharon in seat 3, the patch she's wearing is for UK Poker Room. So that's a UK Poker Room patch she's got on. Doodly Dude, how many bullets has Joe had? I believe he's had 4 bullets. And today will be number 5. Sorry, Nick. I've got Luke here under the gun, makes it 300 to go with the Ace King. Tyrone with a very loose pill here with the Queen 8 off in the hijack. Want to be mucking this hand. Not the most playable hand, Queen 8 off, facing under the gun open. Alan's going to peel on the button with 7-5 of clubs, and Darren going to call in the small with the 10-9, and we're going 4-way to the flop. Nothing happens, Jamie. There's no bounty on David Hayes' head. He's just like a normal player in the field. A lovely flop here for Alan, flopping top 2 pair with 7-5 suited. Luke shouldn't be continuing this board with Ace King. When we go 4-5 way to the flop and we've just got Ace High on a board texture like this, want to be checking. We should just be done with the hand and potentially hope that we can snag a turn. It's just going to be very hard for our continue to get through 3 players on such a wet board texture. And now Alan obviously going to come in for a raise here on the button. Yeah, like the size in 2.2k, and now both Luke and Tyrone are just going to have to get out of the way. Not sure what Tyrone's doing either, peeling with a gut shot there. with 2 players behind and the under the gun opener betting into 3 players. Queen 8 should have just passed to the initial C bet. I'm not sure, Tom. I have no idea. I think Sean Johnston's tuned in. I think he's watching a live stream, so hopefully he'll be able to answer that question for you in the chat box. There he is, just as I say it. Good morning, Harvey. James says, hey guys, I was on the featured yesterday, second session, folded 10 jack to a river raise and guy had king queen and called bets to the river for a 9 or ace. How do you combat people calling with 3 streets with draws? You don't, James. You just print money off them in the long term. There's no way to combat it. You've got to think about this game as a long-term game. You can't think about this game as a short-term game. As long as they're putting money in on the turn with the wrong price, and then we're going to make money off them in the long term. It's as simple as that. You can't be down on yourself just because someone got there on the river. You've got to understand that that's not all going to happen. That's not always going to happen. It's going to happen less often than not. So just you take it on the chin, you move on, you continue playing your game, and keep doing things right. And that's the only advice I've got on that, really. There's no way to combat people calling 3 streets with draws. You want them to call 3 streets with draws because we're equity favourite. Why wouldn't we want our opponent to put more money into the pot when we've got the best hand? Yeah, sometimes they can get there, but it's part of poker. It's about understanding that in the long term, we're actually going to be making money versus that opponent because they're not going to get there very often.
I didn't refuse to wear it, but I was like, what's my hobby?
It's in Dave's Twitter.
Mooknick says, I want to play against Tyrone. Morris Wigan, if you get a card dead on the feature table, you could always spend an hour reading Sharon's tattoos.
She's not going to like that.
That's brilliant.
There you go, UK Poker Room. Sean says it's a Facebook group, biggest and most active in the UK. Feel free to join. And Tyrone, after flopping the nuts, folding on the river there, chips going to Andy Garland. Sorry guys, I ain't got a tower here. I've got 4 chat boxes going at once. I'm missing a bit of action and there's so much coming in at the moment, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anyone's question. But the man will be back soon, so hopefully we'll be able to keep everything up to date.
Oh, sweet.
Steve says, what's wrong with seat 6's right shoulder? He keeps holding it. It's the old...
Has he got the old...
Yeah. I play a lot of poker pose, as Tower says.
Yeah.
He used that against me on stream once, years and years ago. Can we possibly get an update of all the Grosvenor pros? Well, Matt, there's not much to really update right now. They've only been playing a little bit. Yeah, Katie's through. I think he means in the field today. I've already mentioned who's made it through regarding our pros. But yeah, later on in the day, just look out for the blog. You can look at our blog on gukpt.com, and there will be chip counts going up throughout the day. Obviously, we're going to be in here, but when we do get the counts of our pros, we will let you know how they are getting on.
Yep.
Did you see Anthony Gardner comment on the Grosvenor Poker Facebook page around the people queuing at 3 AM today? So what's your opinion on the post around the marketing?
Some people can't play until Friday, and
that's it. People have work commitments like this.
Anthony knows what queuing's like in Vegas. He's been in Vegas this year. He'd been queuing up for a poker event. If he played the big 50, he'd have been queuing up for hours. It's just part of the Goliath. It happens every year on the Friday. People queue up to get a seat. They want to be part of the biggest tournament in outside of Vegas, and they want to be part of it, and they want an extra bullet if they need one. We can't stop people posting pictures around, and it is part of the Goliath. It's what actually makes it. I don't see anything wrong with it. If we don't like queuing, don't queue. But I know what Anthony means. Is it a good or a bad thing? But I don't think it's a bad thing. Not too sure about the guy later than 4 having 5 minutes. So I'm sure he got up after a little bit. Might have been you never know. He might have just laid down for that picture.
David says, reading on social media about the runner who claims their chip stack was 100k down after a break. Are there cameras watching the table to prevent any naughtiness? In the hall, there's no cameras, but all the dealers are sat at the table until every player has left the room. And then once every player has left the room, there are people near the doors, and no one, all unauthorised personnel, cannot get into the hall. So it shouldn't be happening, though. I doubt it happened, to be honest with you. The way everything works here, it's very unlikely that actually happened.
Jim Marlowe says he actually liked queuing last year. Here's one for Andy to pass on. I'm going to try and get Andy involved in this next one. Andy, you're with the guys on the app. You might be able to answer this one for me. Would it be possible to set up an alternates list on the app? Dan?
Not right now, it wouldn't be.
No, not right now. Not right now, I'm guessing. But and then the players on the app would know what alternate is.
We're doing it on Facebook and Twitter.
All right, Facebook and Twitter updated every 5 minutes.
There we go.
But maybe it's something we could speak to Dan to. I think Dan's in this building, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think Dan's in the building. The guy that built the app and got it all involved. That's a good question. That I like that.
So Alan opening ace-jack suited under the gun. Darren peeling the ace-10 suited under the gun +1. Pretty standard so far. Sharon's going to peel the king-jack on the button. And queen-10 of Tyrone's going to come along in the small. Big blind gets out of the way, going 4-way to this flop. State says you should always count and take a picture of your stack before you leave.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I suppose in a big comp like this, obviously your local comps, you just normally just stand up and off to the bar, don't you? But that's a good idea, that, taking a picture of your chip stack. I like that idea.
In the seniors, they make you take a picture of your table number.
They do indeed. And the person next to you as well, so you're sat in the same table in the seniors in Vegas.
And you still always get one. Does anybody know?
Does anybody know this fella?
Does anybody know this man on your table?
True story. In the seniors in Vegas, they tell you to take a picture of the table number and the people on the table, so you know what table you're on when you come back from the break. True story. It is. And they tell you over the microphone, take a picture of your table so you know the guy who's you sat next to.
Well, you finish with this.
Nick says, due to work, I'm not being able to play this year. I need the dates for next year so this don't happen again. Didn't you say we were getting Ian in at some point, Tower?
What's that?
Didn't you say in the chat earlier that Ian's going to be coming in?
Yeah. I spoke to Russell just outside 10 minutes ago, and he says they're definitely announcing it today.
Wow.
We've just got to confirm one thing, and then we're going to announce it. Definitely today. The dates for next year. If we'll give you warning on the live stream, but the dates for next year will be confirmed and announced today.
And then we'll probably have people booking their hotels today as well. Then I'll take it like we did
yeah.
last year.
Yeah. The Novo Hotel will become inundated very soon.
But he's got his stuff now. He's got some food. He's sat down. But I don't. So to be honest, the fact that I know I've got more days doesn't really help me because then I'm likely to mess around.
John Perkins says, I think every poker player should play Goliath for this money. It's our Vegas and smashing records year on year. Yeah, we say that a lot. We say that this is our Vegas. People can't travel 5,000 miles and spend thousands of pounds on going to Vegas every year. People do save up. They do book the hotels once the dates are announced, and they get ready for it. They save up a little bit at a time if that's what you have to do. Everybody's got their own budget, and that budget for a lot of people is this week in Coventry, and that's why it's so good.
Yep. Going 4-way to the flop here. Alan going to flick in the defend with the old 8 tray in the big blind. 10-9, 5, 2 diamond flop. So the King 10 flopping that top pair here, but nut flush draw for Darren. So a bit of action. Not much for Tyrone here with middle pair actually. So the way Tyrone's been playing, he's not folding this. I don't think. He'll make the call and does.
I'm gonna check in on that.
And Andy Garland not going anywhere with his top pair, so we're going to take a turn card.
I can't wait. I'm dying. Jesus, that's insane.
Ooh, interesting turn here. Ace of hearts. So Tyrone turning 2 pair, and we got Darren here top pair nut flush draw.
It's so excited.
And we've got an easy fold here as Andy not going to be overcalling in this spot. Oh well, it wouldn't have even been an overcall because Tyrone is actually putting a raise here. So it's 2.3k back to us. Getting just under 4-1 on our money here. With nut flush draw. I know we can see that we're just drawing to a diamond. Or a 10 would do the job actually as well. 10 would chop it up. But we just can't fold here as Darren. I know we can see we're behind, but I'm just not folding this hand. Need to call and then take a river.
Check, check.
Yep, the old 10, the old chop pot.
Yeah.
And Andy Garland, he made a good fold on the turn. Well,
chop it up.
Would have river trick 10s. Sean says we'll have another care package for you boys at GUKBT Leeds, bigger and better. How can it get bigger and better than the one before, Sean? I don't know. It can get better. Got a massive bottle of gin. We got cake. We got food. It was very kind of you what you brought in, and it goes to everyone that's popped in the booth throughout the week and brought us some things in. It's so kind of everyone bringing us all these goodies and treats.
Absolutely.
Keep us going, keep the sugar levels high throughout the week.
Who was that?
Someone, Sean said he's going to bring a bigger and better care package for us to Leeds.
Oh,
that's what I said. It can't get better. We've got a massive bottle of gin from Sean.
Cheers, Sean. Yeah, that'll be opened on Sunday night, I'm sure. Thanks, guys. You look after us. You really do. I think I just need a chicken salad or something like that. I could really eat a chicken salad. And if I see sausage and mash before Christmas, I'm going to throw it at the person that delivers it. How many sausage and mash have you had this week?
Just throw it in Jay.
Like that.
Jay must have 2 per day. Have you?
Yeah. Yesterday I had 2. But that was it. What else is there? It's hard.
You have 5 jacket potatoes an hour.
I've had different 2 a week.
Morning. How was the gonging? Amazing.
Yeah, good.
Monday was the gonga this morning.
Gonga.
She says, can I be the gonga? Yep. And bashed it.
We have Hello Boothie here today.
Hello Boothie?
Hello Boothie,
Who's
which
that?
it is a photo booth, but it's you do a boomerang instead.
You do a what?
A boomerang.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it's Goliath branded, and the tower, being the amazing tower he is going to be my guinea pig. He's going to come and do it. And
Where is
We're
it?
going to put it on social in the food hall.
Okay.
It's by the Bangers and Mash stand.
Oh, bangers and mash. Talking of sausage and mash.
I might as well go kill 2 birds, 1 stone.
We'll have both of you, like the double duo.
There you go.
Dynamic duo.
We'll do that at the break.
Yes, we will.
We'll be there. So if you want a boomerang selfie, there's a booth there. Awesome.
Matt Pearson says, are there any plans to integrate computer systems so online holding tanks can stay open all week? Queuing in casino could be avoided.
Unfortunately not. They might be able to integrate the computer system, as you say. The reason why they close the holding tanks is that the tokens don't get taken out as they are processed. So a player, and it's happened before, and people have got barred for it and what have you, use a token on, because we've got a token online, they bust out, they go back to their online account, they see the token hasn't been taken out, they then use it again, and by the time of 3 bullets later, they realise that the one ticket has not been taken out, and by the time the guys have 3 bullets, there's not a lot you can do about it, apart from deal with it after the event. You could integrate it. I'm not saying it can't be done. I don't know much about computers, to be fair. I'm guessing the online team would love it to happen, because it would certainly help. And then the queue in the casino could be avoided.
So Andy Garland opening the King 8 suited in the cut-off. This is fine once folded to us. And Alan, we want to continue with this hand. I just prefer free betting it. In these stage of the tournament, I don't think we should really have any free bet bluffs, so wouldn't mind Alan just folding the 8-4 of spades on the button, facing the open from Andrew. And both players do catch a piece, middle pair. Flop goes check, check to the turn, which is a 10 of diamonds, check, check, queen of clubs on the river, and this is going to go check, check again, and the King 8 is going to take this pot. King will play.
Question from Alan Greenwood on YouTube. Don't you think seats should be filled up if people don't turn up, even though they bought in, and if they're not on time, they should get the next available seat or chips, and then the chips should go into play?
No, Alan, because that's the merit of pre-registering.
Yeah.
We say it throughout the year. All year we say pre-register. If you can, get into the holding tank early, and then you don't have to worry about it.
I think what they could do for the final day one, and I'm not sure if they think about it or even consider it, is that maybe drop it to the end of the first break, that you have to be sat in your seats and then the chips. They did that in the Big 50 in Vegas. The late reg was like 6 hours.
Yeah.
But you had to be sat. The dead stacks were taken out after 2, and if you weren't in your seats then that's what they did. But so you don't really want to discourage pre-reg, and if somebody is late, stuck in traffic for a genuine reason, then you don't really want to discipline them for it. But maybe they could pull the dead stacks off, maybe say level 3 instead of level 6.
Yeah, like some people on the day, like you got to remember, thousands of people travel to play this event. Like some unforeseen circumstances crop up that means maybe players have to get here a few hours later, and it would just be unfair to sort of give their seat away. So obviously the way around it is just pre-register for next year. Make sure you get in the holding tank early, and you won't have to worry about the queues. It's as easy as that. Unless you're lucky as Craig Dawson, Leeds last year. He was stuck in traffic, 14 left in Leeds. He finally got to Leeds Casino and he'd ladded about $5,000. Can you remember that?
Absolutely. I'm going home tonight. Why? Why are you going home? You've locked up chunks. Why don't you just get a hotel? Bit eight. And then M62 was shut.
Yeah, about 4 hours. He turned up about 4 hours late and he'd made about $5,000 in ladders. Came sick.
Trump says on YouTube, only problem is playing on Friday. You only get a cooler first level and bus. You have to wait hours to re-enter. Yeah, that happens in poker. We all know. Unfortunately, an alternate system with a lot of people on it. There isn't a lot we can do. And Friday might be the only time some people can play. A lot of people decide not to play the Friday for that exact reason, and then try and change it to the weekend before, if you can manage to come down. Some people can't, obviously, but some people don't play the Friday on purpose for that reason.
Harvey says, John, in his post-tournament interview, which is on the G blog, he says he had 3 bullets. Not sure what John you're on about, Harvey. There's probably about 100 Johns in the field. Gary says, Tal, do you need some chili jam?
Yes, please. Chili jam with cheese is amazing. Like, amazing. Andy Newton says, morning, Tal, have you managed to get all your makeup off yet? Last night was a great laugh, even though he didn't do very well. Yeah.
He hasn't even gone home, he's just been DJing all night and then came in this morning.
Sat in the shower when I go up into the room and then had another shower this morning. It's all gone. You can't tell the Joker was even in the building last night, eh? We're alright.
We can still hear the echoes though. 5 rolls off on the turn, so Alan's still with the best of it here with 2 pair, 4s and 5s. 6 of clubs rolls off on the river though, so Sharon now going to get the check mark this hand, but this should just check through. I just think this board's at best for Sharon's range here, and we've got too much showdown to come in for a bet like a Sharon. Like, I don't think we're ever getting called by 4x here, so we're only getting called like by better 6x. Look, there's a snap fold from 4x, so it just shows you why we shouldn't be betting this river. The fact that 4x is actually snap folded there, we can't get called by a worse hand here of 8-6. It's so much better to come in for a check.
Is Florian due to play?
He's here today.
Yeah, I think he is here. I don't know whether he's in or not.
I've not seen him.
I've not seen him.
So.
He's here.
Oh, Philly cheese and sweet chili sauce. Yeah, they do that, don't they? Oh.
Jason on Twitch, best thing to do regarding membership for that is just give the casino a call, call them directly and check with the casino if you can get in. Red Manx says, morning lads, I'm on table 82, not doing too bad, just wish I could get rid of these nerves. And State says, can Tower do a Mark Hamill Joker laugh?
No, I don't think I've even tried it. Oh.
Tried what?
To laugh like the Joker.
I'm in the back room, I'll come and see you now, where are you?
Red Mac, no need to be nervous, should enjoy this event. Hopefully nerves have settled by now once you sit down. Sometimes events can be nervous, big events when you take your seat, but usually after 10-15 minutes you feel settled and you're a lot more comfortable.
Apparently Madonna is looking for dancers and backing singers for her next tour. I should consider it. Oh.
Someone put in the chat yesterday when your music was on, they said, I know where I knew Tower from before now, he used to be a fun star at Butlins or something like that. Can't remember who that was yesterday when you were doing the old poker-okey.
Florian's due to arrive soon.
Who said that? Of course it was Jim. Who else would it be?
Any guesses how long I need to survive on day 2 to cash? It was in the 4th level last year. I think it was the 1st level after the break last year, I do believe.
Luke says, have you played with anyone from this table? Just the man in seat 5 for me. I've played a few hands over the years with Andy Garland, the elderly maniac. He has got hundreds of thousands of pounds in cashes, plays a lot of poker, enjoys his poker, and a very recognisable face on the UK poker circuit. Regarding the rest of the players, I'm unaware of everyone else, but have to see how it goes, see how everyone plays.
Just a quick word on that, Phil. Phil Hobday says, any guesses how long I need to survive on day 2 to cash? Don't let anybody on the table realise that you're hanging on to cash, because they'll just pick on you. Very exploitable people that just want to cash. Yes, it's always nice to get some money in the back pocket, and yes, it's a massive event, and the bubble will be, we reckon, level 4. But if you are one of those people that sit there, and Jay will tell you exactly the same, very exploitable, and Jay would pick on you as a big poker player himself. The better players can tell who's hanging on, who's trying to cash and all that. So Phil, if you don't get that double up very early, or if you're short stacked, try and disguise the fact that you're trying to cling on.
Couldn't put it better than myself, Tower. Great answer. Reality, I think the bubble will bust earlier this year with the big blind ante. Yeah, I agree as well. I agree. Red Max says, felt alright until I turned the boat and they came back, couldn't get paid though. Andy Newton, has it gone past $1 million prize pool yet? No,
it won't. It will be close, but it won't.
Jodie says she was nervous playing the ladies event but completely calm for the main. And Alex wants to know if James Maddison is in the building today.
Not sure.
Not sure if James Maddison is here. I know he's played a couple of days already. He might be back for a third bullet, but I'm unaware whether he would be here or not.
Once the bubble bursts, what do the payments start at? We've no idea at the moment because people are still buying in some. The prize pool will be either very late tonight or first thing in the morning. They'll have to balance the books and everything, and all the late reds will have to finish. So I'm guessing level 11 will be by the time all the alternates get in. Might even be level 12. What were it last year, Paul?
I think last year.
Do you remember what time the last alternate got in last year? What level? Level 10. So we're reckoning it would be level 11 with more alternates coming in today. So
stay on Twitch. Be quiet. Don't reveal the secrets of the trade.
What's that?
He's sure. Great tell to those hanging on. They will stall a bit, which is so true. That's a great way of telling who's trying to get on the right side of their money, and they'll tank a bit more pre-flop. Yeah. If you start seeing someone start tanking 10-15 seconds every pre-flop decision, these are the type of people you want to usually you want to aim for. The guys you want to open into their big blind and whatnot. Oliver says, went out level 16 last night, gutted, but a great tournament. Senior Sunday, is it over 50s? Yes, it's over 50s for the Masters on Sunday. Oliver, good luck in that. Unlucky yesterday. And Harvey Norris says, will day 2 table seating be published early tomorrow online so I can Hendon players, etc.? Usually gets posted start of day 2, Harvey. I think that's going to still be the case. I don't think there'll be any table 2 seat and draw out tonight. It will be just before the start of day 2, like it always is for our GUKPTs. So I'd say look out for that about probably 10:30 tomorrow morning on the Grosvenor Facebook page. I'm sure the seating plan will be up around that time, and then you can see who's on your table, do a bit of research. Good to see that though, Harvey, from you. I'd be doing the exact same thing, especially in this field as well. It's a great thing to do, what Harvey's just said in the chat. Look at your table 2 seat and draw, start Hendon mobbing the players at your table, and then you actually already have a bit of knowledge of the players before you've even sat down. Tommy says, you guys should probably publish a frequently asked question somewhere, same questions all the time. Yeah, I know, Tommy, I know. But it's just, we don't mind repeating ourselves.
Not at all. We are up to alternate number 80 at the moment, VG Craze. 80.
And we should probably mention as well today, we have a 75-minute dinner break because of how many players are in the room. So I'm just going to let everyone know about that. 10 minutes to get into the next flip free roll. Are you in, Tower?
No.
No, good thing I said that.
I am in, but the system shut down.
So yeah, guys, next flip free roll starts in 10 minutes. You're all playing for second because probably Jodie's going to win it, but get yourself in anyway.
So the sitting alternate 80 at the minute.
Yeah, Tommy, last night Patrick Antonius turning up was brilliant. It was great. Yep, Jodie's in, thought she would be.
Yeah, get in.
PK, what alternate number are we up to?
80. How many times? Do you not listen?
Well, someone's just asked it again who's just tuned in.
80.
There we go, 80.
80.
Okay. I can't help if someone missed the questions.
Look at the reply. We are up to number 80. Maybe the sound was off. Maybe the sound was off and we needed to type the answer. We are up to 80.
So Sharon here, ace 4 off, under the gun +1. Going to come in for an open. Tyrone going to flat the pocket 3s. Alan's coming along with 8-7 off. Darren's getting out the way in the small end. I was about to say, where's C8's chips, but it's the camera, it's Elliot with the camera.
It's the cameraman.
Oh, I really thought he was at the table then.
Brilliant.
Look, it does look like he sat down, don't it? It's and Vedatas here, pocket 10s in the big blind, so incoming squeeze makes it 1.4k. One of the problems with opening ace 4 off early position is we obviously can't peel a 3-bet, and we've got plenty of players to get through, so a lot of players may just elect to muck that, and Tyrone not going anywhere with the old pocket 3s here, and Alan's going to have to get out the way on the button. So we're going heads up to the flop. 10s for Vedatas, Tyrone with the pocket 3s. King 9-7 rainbow. So Vedatas here. Go either way here. We can come in for a check, or we can come in for a small bet. It depends on opponent really. If we've got the a type of opponent that's going to get sticky a lot of the time and just peel very wide, I don't actually mind a bet. But if we've got an opponent that's only really going to continue with like his King X hands here, and then obviously like his double gutters, like 10 jack, it's hard for him to have 10 jack because he's got pocket 10s, but then I'm fine with coming in for a check. 2 of hearts rolls off on the turn. So now, as Vedatas, we have to come in for a check here once we've been called by Tyrone. We'll have plenty of King X calling in the hijack, and now he's going to come in for a bet with his pocket 3s, bet of 2,000. Still got a call here, Vedatas, getting 4.5 to 1 on the call here, so we're not going to be going anywhere with just one overcard. But a lot of the time we're going to have to fold river because there's just not many bluffs that Tyrone's going to be double barreling once check 2 on turn. But Tyrone's going to check the 3s behind, especially once this ace of spades rolls off. Can't see Tyrone doing anything but checking behind now. There's Vedatas here with the 10s. Is he thinking about coming in for a lead here, turning his 10s into a bluff, perhaps trying to fold out King X? Wow, he is. This is he's actually going to be bluffing with the best hand here. Full process. I understand the full process here. After squeeze and flop, we're going to have plenty of ace X in our range. And once Tyrone bets turn, he's going to be quite King X heavy. So what he's trying to do here, he's trying to turn his 10s into a bluff to try and fold out some King X hands, because he's going to be more ace X heavy than Tyrone. But Tyrone there with pocket 3s just couldn't call. Would have been very interesting to see if Tyrone had a hand like King 10, King Jack there, and what his play would have been, whether he would have called or fold. But I understand the line there in seat 9, but one of them situations where it can be player dependent whether to turn 10s into a bluff there or not. Yeah, reality, it doesn't have like every live cash, but it has like all live cashes from tournaments that do go on to Hendon. So you can see how many cashes people have in live tournaments that are on your table. If you can't find their name, if you type in their name in the Hendon Mob search bar and it doesn't come up, it just means they have no live cashes. So that's always a good way of understanding how good your opponent is as well. But you got to be careful with Hendon as well, because Hendon, it can be very misleading, because obviously it shows people's live earnings, but it doesn't show like their buy-ins, what they're in for and whatnot. So you've also got to be careful on the fact of the matter there could be players with only a few cashers, but they're absolute sickos online, or they're cash game grinders that don't play many tournaments and they're actually really good. So it can be misleading as well, but always good to just check out to see if anyone does have any large scores or whatnot at your table, get an understanding of who they are. The 10 of hearts rolling off on the turn here. Alan gets the dream flop after making a very dubious call with a 6-5 here. He gets the dream of the flop, and Sharon now going to come in for the delayed continuation bet here after flop checks through like this from Sharon. I know we can see that Alan does have a 6x here, but a lot of the time we're just going to print folds with our delay continue there on the turn. I like coming in for the delay C bet, and now we're just going to have to fold. But fine from Sharon there, played it perfectly fine. Just unfortunate that Alan had trip sixes. How are we getting on, Joe?
Well, they're just going on the first official break of the day.
Okay.
So I thought I'd come in and say hello.
Yep.
I haven't played a hand yet, but I haven't sat at the table yet.
Ah.
I'm going to join at the end of the break. A few people asking what alternate they're up to. They just sat number 90.
Yep.
Just sat number 90. But what will happen now is things will speed up a little bit. Obviously the blinds are a little bit higher, and there'll be more shorter stacks at the table, and the alternate list will definitely speed up. So hopefully won't have to wait too long if you've got one of those golden tickets. How are you this morning?
Oh, really good. Still buzzing off of yesterday, honestly. When I woke up this morning, still absolutely buzzing off of yesterday. It was just so surreal for me. To actually get that opportunity to have one of the biggest stars in the game that there's ever been sat next to me and commentating on a £125 tournament is something that just don't happen every day. And the best thing about it, I wasn't expecting it. I was sitting there and I just got a text saying, by the way, Patrick Antonius is with you in the comms in 10 minutes. And I was just shocked, just so shocked, and so grateful for the opportunity. And what a top guy as well, Joe. I've got to say, what a lovely guy he was, and a great pleasure to have him here.
What did you talk about? Did you talk about the hands that were being played? Did you talk about other poker stuff? Did you talk about...
So basically, I wanted to ask him a few questions. So I asked him a few questions, and then I asked him about hands that he played on high stakes poker that I remember, and wanted to get full process and stuff on them. I was asking him about like tips, how to handle downswings and whatnot, and then we had lots of people in the chat box firing questions, and then he was just picking a few questions, I was picking a few questions, and basically he was only meant to be in here for 15 minutes, but then 50 minutes later he still sat next to me, and honestly we just could not stop talking poker, us two, and everyone helped out in the chat, just firing the questions in from him, and he was enjoying it as well. We had a huge smile on his face the whole time, and I think he actually really enjoyed coming in the comms and seeing what the Goliath was all about.
He is a lovely fellow.
Unbelievable guy.
I think I first met Patrick about, well, I'd like to say 20 years ago, but maybe it's not quite as far ago as that. And he's always been an absolute gent.
Yeah.
He's always been, you know, you never see it, you never hear a bad word said about him,
Yep.
and you never hear him say a bad word about anybody.
Yep.
And he's always got a smile.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. It was a great thing to be able to get that opportunity for you and for everybody else.
Yeah,
Jay.
of course, of course.
To have him talking through the poker stuff that you wanted to, and also like all those hands on high stakes poker that you watched. I mean, we all know you're a little bit of a geeky nerd that wants to watch everything and learn everything and read everything.
Yep.
But we love it. We love it.
So King Jack 5 all club flop rolls off. Only club here is for Tyrone. 10 of clubs in the big. This is going to check through almost always, this flop. No one's got any hand that can bet into 3 players here, so we're going to go to the turn. And it looks like Vedatas is going to come in for a bet, so I'm guessing this turn's a 5 or a 4 here. I'd be very surprised if it isn't. It's a 9, so basically just betting bottom pair here, Vedatas. Much prefer a check. Like a multi-way here in this pot. I'm not sure how have we gone 4-way to the river here. Everyone's called.
Maybe it was a very small bet.
Yeah, but I've still got to fold hands like Queen three of spades, and I understand the call with 10-6 with the gut shot and the third nut flush draw, but Vedatas actually comes in for the double barrel and takes it down with the best of it. Not that he'd know he has the best hand, bluffing with the best. Cadis says, Jay, top man, your chat explaining hands very informative for all player levels, even mine once a year at the Goliath. Thank you, Cadis. Nice words. Cheetah says, morning teams. And Cadis says, get your social media out there. Patrick interview, nice one. Yeah, I'm not sure when it's going to be going up. We've still got obviously chop it all, make sure it's all fine to go out on social media, and then hopefully the interview with him in the comms booth will be up shortly, hopefully before this event's over. Dr. Deborah, I want to see David Hay. Can you put him on, please? David Hay has already made day 2, so he'll be coming back tomorrow. He bagged up on Wednesday 99,000 chips. He's going to be coming back with 16.5 big blinds.
Hey Andy Newton, yes of course I remember picking up your Queen 4 offsuit when you were trying to get served from the waitress last night and passing your hand.
Did you really?
Do you know what? We had so much fun. Let me tell you, there was one of the dealers, Jay. I looked at his hand, he had Queen 4 so I passed it. I knew he didn't want to play it. So there was one of the dealers came to the table to change. I can't remember his name, he's a bald head, little guy, mid-40s. Anyways, lovely guy. He's come to the table, he's the dealer, new dealer, but he can't get in very well. So instead of me going out, I moved over. I was in the 10 seat, because the jokers always stay in the 10 seat. And I jumped into the dealer seat. And I said, sit there, you're playing. Right? So I shuffled the cards, cut the cards, dealt the cards. He looked at me, and I looked at him, and he showed me, I dealt him aces.
What?
Yeah. And the guy in the 1 seat, at the end of the hand, thought that I dealt them off the bottom of the deck. Right, but it was completely genuine. I shuffled and cut the cards. I used the cutting card on the bottom, obviously. I dealt the hand completely normal, and I dealt the dealer aces. So the dealer gets all in with the aces.
Your stack.
And gets 2 callers, right? And we're up against the joker.
Yeah.
And the joker won the pot, but the joker had less chips than me, so I was still in. So there was another hand. I had 1,100 left, and I was on the button. I got everybody to call, and I won the pot.
I remember that actually, because Tower went Joe Beaver's all in, he's got 9 callers. Yeah, I remember that, and then you managed to...
There was another one, I raised under the gun, no look, and some guy moved all in for a short stack. I had him covered, and I said to him, you can choose, do you want me to call or do you want me to fold? Do you want me to call or do you want me to fold? So he said, I want you to call, and he turned over A6, so I called, and I hadn't looked at my hand, I had kings. It was a lot of fun last night. It was a lot of fun.
It sounded fun. How was the Tower? Was he good on stage?
Oh, do you know what? He was brilliant.
Yeah, I bet Joe was up there for 6.5 hours.
It must have been tough because with that makeup on his face, I could see that he was, and obviously the wig and all the costume and everything. It was very hot, and I could imagine it was quite uncomfortable, and the makeup might have been running a little bit. But he was brilliant. Great DJ, great fun, great night. It really, really is becoming more and more of an event, the Joker's Wild.
Yeah.
And it was a really, really good, fun evening.
Sparks, what number alternates, lads? Kipping, wondering, aces, wake up. We're up to number 90 now, Sparks. Number 90, that was about 5 minutes ago. So calling up to alternates number 90. You can find out all the alternates posted every 5 minutes on our Facebook page of the alternate numbers that we are calling. Zoldara says, last day in work, back for day 2 tomorrow, can't wait. Still cold in the arena, just planning what to wear. Well, to be honest with you, it's been a bit hit and miss, the old temperature in that hall this week. So I'd just suggest bring a hoodie with you. If it's too hot, you can take it off. If it's too cold, you can put it on.
I just walked through with a long sleeve shirt on, and I didn't feel hot and I didn't feel cold. I just felt completely normal.
Yeah.
Like Jay says, certain spots, if you're under the AC, you are going to be a little bit cold. But they seem to have got it right compared to what it was this time last week. This time last week, it was like a freezer in there. But it's there's definitely fewer complaints about the temperature than there were.
I've got a question here from Clive J. How are you finding Hendon Mob since GDPR? I cannot see any of my cashes since GDPR. To be honest with you, Clive, I really don't play. I hardly play any tournament poker anymore, so it doesn't really affect me because obviously if I'm not playing tournaments, I'm not getting any results to go onto Hendon Mob. But I understand what you're saying with GDPR. Sometimes, obviously, results struggle to get on there, but regarding our Grosvenor events, as long as you do tick the GDPR box, it's fine. When you do cash in one of our events, hopefully your results do go onto the Hendon Mob.
What I would say, just one thing I'll add to that, if you have a result of a particular event, something that is a proper, what you would call a major or a festival event, you know, a 25-25 or a GUKPT, even a side event, and it's not in the Hendon Mob database, if you can get the result from the venue, obviously some people do exclude themselves, and there will be some anons along the list, but if you can get the result yourself and send it through to support@thehendonmob.com, they'll put it in. You're not doing anything wrong, it's completely fine to do that, and it ticks all the boxes going round. When I say ticks all the boxes going around the circle, I'm not sure that makes sense, but it will accomplish what you want. So yeah, well, if you were 18th in the Easter Beast, there's no reason why the Easter Beast couldn't go in. If you ask wherever you played the Easter Beast, if you can get a copy of that result, you could either ask the card room to send it in, or if they're unable to do that for some reason, you can ask for a copy of the result and send it in yourself. Support@thehendonmob.com.
Alex says, did he say anything about his call with King 6 in Triton versus Carell? Yeah, he broke it down for us he spoke about the whole breakdown of the hand.
Oh, this is the massive overbet on the river.
Yeah, and the great thing about it as well, Alex, the way he recalled the hand was like spot on, even though it happened yesterday, like every single card. I watched it last night after he explained the hand, because I hadn't actually seen it, and someone asked about the hand in the chat and he answered the question. I watched the hand last night, and like the way he explained the hand in the booth was like great to actually watch the video and think about what Patrick was saying. So it was an insane call, especially on the bubble of a 25k. It makes it even more sicker. It's a great call from the old man. Nate says, Jay sent you a preview of tomorrow's treats on Facebook. I'll have a look on my break in 20 minutes time, Nate. Have a look, thank you for that. And Tommy G just had my best result of the week so far in the flip 8th place. Gary Young says, Jay, already deadly at poker and now you have tips from a legend. Super, avoiding playing with you at all costs in the future. Keep up the good work, great stuff to listen to. Thanks, Gary, really appreciate that. And Clive Knowles, only 18th in the Easter Beast. Afternoon, Moira in the chat.
Hi, Moira. Good afternoon.
So you want to flip the flip I played yesterday?
Oh, lovely, well done, Moira, well played. You're much better at these flips than Kimber.
I finished about 6, I was very pleased.
I like that, Jim. GDPR is a top excuse for a dry spell. Having a dry spell.
How are we doing,
many
Jeff?
cashes. It's the GDPR.
Got about 60k at the first break, and I'm moving to the feature table next.
Oh, lovely.
So all good.
Sam Simkis says, before meeting Patrick, if you could have choose any poker player to share the commentary box with, who would it have been,
what a great
Jay?
question.
Probably
I'm
either,
here. What are you
probably
talking
either
about?
Jeff
I'm
Kimber
here,
or
Jay,
Joe
I'm here.
Beavers. It has to be either Jeff Kimber or Joe Beavers, don't it? But to be honest with you, I know there's three people in poker that always a dream of mine to like meet, and it was always watching Tom Dwan, Phil Ivey, and the man that I was with yesterday on high stakes poker. Like before I was even old enough to play, I used to watch him every night, and these three guys were always in the game. Like you had your Dan Negreanu, you had your Ilari Sahamis, you had Helmuth playing, Mike Matzo playing sometimes, but these three guys were always in the game, always, and it was just great to watch. Like remember watching them playing free-handed, just Dwan, Ivey and Antonius, and he spoke about that hand as well. Can you remember the straight on straight million chip pot when Dwan and Ivey got it in on the turn, when they both turn a straight, Ivey turns the wheel and Tom Dwan turns the nuts with 7-6.
I've got to be honest. I haven't watched all of these hands, but I might have seen it if it
it's
came
like,
up,
it's
came
like
up
a
in my
million
Facebook
chip pot,
feed.
and they're just free-handed. And Patrick was there, just sitting in the corner, and he said, "Yeah, I was basically falling asleep because I was just off the back of like a 30-hour session." And he was like explaining why he looked so tired at the table. So it was great. It was great to have him here. It was so yeah. It would be either Phil Ivey, Tom Dwan, or Patrick Antonius. Like I know a lot of people who like Negreanu and whatnot, but Negreanu weren't always in the high stakes poker game. He was in there a lot, but it just always seemed like Dwan, Ivey, and Antonius were in the old high stakes poker that I used to watch. And the fact that I had him sitting next to me yesterday, Dave would tell you I was jumping around like a little kid when he left the booth. It was I was just jumping. I was just so.
Who's the other ones you like? Tom Dwan?
Tom Dwan and Phil Ivey.
Phil, in you come!
Yeah, if Ivey just walked in, I don't know what I'd do. But yeah, great for Patrick for coming in for us. But yeah, great question, Sam. Who was the 560 seat joker? Do you know that
There
was
were two.
Joe?
Well, there were two. Raj was one. What were you, Jeff? What was your bounty?
25 seats.
Jeff was a 25-25. I was a chocolate bar for the second year in a row. I know that. I know one of the 560s was definitely Raj. She was the first one to go. And I think the other 560 would have been one of the later bounties, one of the last bounties.
It must have been Ian or someone, I think.
Yeah, I think it might have been Ian, it might have been Tom.
I don't think it was Katie or True.
Tony Bedford said, disappointed I didn't get there, been busy and got stuff on this weekend. Good luck to yesterday's chip leader, George Price. Looks well and run well organised. Thanks for that.
Tell you what, Jay, it plays differently on the Friday, which I think is an advantage for
I said the
recreational
exact same thing, Jeff. I said the exact same thing. I just think people are just going to be overfolding spots because they're not going to want to wait on an alternates list for 4 or 5 hours.
There's less gambling too,
yeah.
so people who just want to have one bullet, this
Yeah.
is the day they can play, and it plays more like a freeze out because people don't want to go to the back of a big queue.
Exactly.
So there's no point moaning about the queue, you just have to play the way it is.
Yeah.
Now it's a freeze out, really.
Exactly. I completely agree with that.
Do you know what? I mean, I've heard a fair bit of moaning, and I can understand players that have played every day, or they've played earlier days, and then they want to play the Friday, and they've been here all week supporting the event. I can understand that if they can't get in the Friday because of the queues, or they can't get into the alternate list because there's such a long wait. I can understand that, but you know, I saw somebody complaining yesterday. They had an online ticket that they'd won a satellite for the Goliath, and they were complaining that they wanted to play the Friday, but they couldn't buy it at their local casino, and they didn't want to come and stand in the alternate lists. So, the question is, Grosvenor do as much as they can to facilitate as many players. This is an amazing event with thousands of players. It's a real effort to organise. All the dealers, all the floor staff, everything that goes into it is a mammoth task. If one person can't register online when there was 300 and then 500 seats, and they want to make it Grosvenor's problem because they couldn't register, then I think they need to sort themselves out, because someone complaining that they couldn't get to play Friday when they had all that time and they only had to do one thing, register one person, when Grosvenor is trying to accommodate as many people. They're trying to use they've got every single dealer. I heard Paul Davis, the general manager, yesterday I overheard a conversation. I'm not sure I should say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Paul Davis was the Coventry general manager. He was talking to one of the cardroom staff, and he was saying that he'd been phoning round people, trying to get extra dealers from different places so that they could accommodate more cash games, more side tables, more main event tables, and they're literally pulling every resource they have. So please don't complain if you couldn't register online because you couldn't do it in time.
I couldn't
500 seats per day.
Could not put it better.
But having said that, so many people have come up to me at this event and said they've had such a brilliant time. Even if they bust or... okay, I have to admit, I have heard my fair share of bad beat stories, and they kind of get a little bit tiresome.
Yeah, I'm not even joking, Joe. I've probably heard at least 200 this weekend, but it's minimum 200. I'm happy to talk about hands, guys, but sometimes, when you see me, I'm usually outside on my break or whatnot. Sometimes I just need that 20-25 minutes to just drop the poker and do some other things and whatnot. I know, I'm happy to talk about hands and whatnot, but sometimes it's nice to just get my sort of 10-15 minutes break that I need after talking straight for 2 hours. But the best thing to do if you want to go through a hand with me, drop me a message on social media. I will always reply. So it's just when I'm on my breaks. Just keep constantly hearing bad beat stories after just commentating on poker for 2 hours. It can get quite monotonous, but I will always happily break down a hand or listen to the stories, but it's so much better to just drop me a message on social media. I will always get back to you.
Do we know how long we've got until the end of the break?
Yes, we've got 13 minutes. Well, end of your break.
Yeah. How
you,
do you know that?
You've got 8 minutes.
I've got 8 minutes.
Yeah, you've
How
got
do you
8
know that? How
minutes.
did you work that?
Because you went on break at 1 o'clock. You got a 25-minute break, and the time now is 17 past 1.
Do you know what? You're the best.
Yeah.
I'll give you my phone to text you. I'll send me some.
Jay's got it all sorted. Got it all worked out.
Send me someone on Instagram.
Sorry.
Too many commentators talking at the same time. Oh, sorry about that, Gordon. That's probably our fault. Jay was on his own in here, and I popped in to give him a little bit of support before he went to play, and then the players went on an official break. So Jeff popped in. We're gonna try and keep everybody a little bit quieter in the background. You're absolutely right. It can be a little bit difficult to listen to when there's lots of people talking in the background and lots of people over talking, but we do our best.
Yeah, Dietrich says we tried to register for 6 days after a holding tank was full. Nothing else we could have done. The thing is, all year since the dates got released last year for the Goliath, Grosvenor have been posting week after week about the event, even though it was 9-8 months to come, about getting in the holding tanks, and they always were saying when they fill up, they fill up. And if me and Tower on stream, the GUKPTs, every single leg we've been mentioning this about the Goliath, because we had the same problem last year, people turning up and obviously going into the alternates queue because they haven't pre-regged. I understand sometimes there's some circumstances where you have to wait until the day until you register, but if you can next year, guys, just straight away get yourself in the holding tank, find out what day you're going to play, get yourself in the holding tank. There'll be no queuing, you'll be straight in, and it may make the experience a lot better for you. So Sharon going to come in for a bet here with her top 2, and Veditas going to pill here with a double gut shot. Jack or 7 will make him a straight. It's still 90, Dr. Debura, because the players in the room are still on break. So no one obviously has busted the main event since that question was last asked. So it's still up to 90, the alternates that are being called. Oi, oi, Joe Saunders in the chat. Good afternoon.
Anthony Walsh wants to know about one of the characters from Late Night Poker, Koresh. Is he still around? He is still around. Occasionally, if I'm in the Vic, I see him in there playing. He looks exactly the same. I always remember when I was on the final table with him and Porrig, there were 4 or 5 of us left. Jacarama was on the final table as well. And I got into a massive pot with Koresh. I had queens and he had ace king, and he turned a king. It's not a bad beat story. Koresh won a huge pot. I finished 3rd, and Koresh was heads up with Porrig Parkinson. And Koresh had well over half the chips. And Porrig, I think he raised something like 56 hands in a row until he'd won the tournament. How about that? And Porrig won the tournament. Porrig won Late Night Poker, and Koresh finished 2nd. He literally ground him. He just like barreled and raised non-stop until he had all the chips. But yeah, he's still around. Still see him at the Vic sometimes. He's still going. Seating up to alternate 135. Yeah. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't hear all the announcements. We're round the back at the moment in the media room. I'm going to disappear, Jay. I'm going to go and play.
Okay, good luck, Joe. Thanks for coming to join me briefly.
Right,
hopefully we don't see you later and you're playing in the comp and you take chunks through, because I want my 5%. Do you know what? I can't win anyway, Joe. My guess was 8,000, so I can't win. I can't win.
Oh yeah, the 5%. Yeah, I'm going to get working for you guys. Anyone that's entered the competition. It's too late to enter.
Yeah, too late to enter Joe's competition on Twitter, but. So we got around 10 minutes left on the clock. Joe Saunders, what time does the high roller start tomorrow? And is it just an hour before reg like the other comp? Yep, you can start registering for the super high roller at 5:30 tomorrow. It starts at 6:30. It's 25k starting stack. It's a GUKPT structure, and it's a 40-minute clock, so the blinds are going to start at 25.50, so really good structure that in the super high roller. And bear in mind it's a 2-day event, so make sure that you can play the Sunday as well. But that kicks off tomorrow at 6:30. Registration open from 5:30 tomorrow.
Got one of your mates on my table, Jay.
Which one?
I don't know. You just said he's your mate when we got told we're moving to the future table next. He said, "Oh, that'll be Jay's fault." He said, "Because you're on the table and because Jay knows me, then he'll have moved us over."
No, I have no input in the feature tables at all, Jeff. So
no, I don't know. You'll get a list of.
Yeah, I'll get a list, and I'll obviously
seat one.
Be funny if I get a list and I don't know who it is. It'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Someone who just watches the stream with us. No, you think he's one of your pals. I've already lost 2 from my table, so we're getting plenty of change.
Yeah. If you've lost 2, at this stage, we're going to be starting to get plenty of chips on the table.
Yeah.
So King, Queen, 8, Rainbow the flop.
Making a straight with his pair of fours.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Whoa.